How's it going, everybody? Jared here, and today we're going to be looking at how to add AdMob inside of your application. So let's go ahead and get started. So the way we do this is let's first head over to Safari, and we're going to go over to firebase.google.com. And then we're going to create a new project. Now this new project can be whatever you want. I'm just going to call mine AdMob. Go ahead, create that project. Now inside of here you can see that there is a left tab and that says AdMob. So just go ahead, click on AdMob. Now inside of AdMob it would typically say sign up for your AdMob, but I'm already signed up, so I'm just going to head right over to admob.com. And then we're going to sign into our AdMob account or sign up to our AdMob account. And as you can see, I don't make any money. So inside of here, we can just go ahead, click on the Monetize tab, and then we're going to say Monetize New App. That'll be in the top left corner here. So go ahead, hit that, and then we can say Search by App or App Developer. We don't have an app that's in the App Store, so we're just going to go ahead and say Add your app manually. And we're just going to type in our app name. Mine is just going to be AdMob, but yours is of course going to be your own game. And then for your platform, just say iOS, since we are working with iOS here. Now go ahead, add the app, and then inside of here you can see select Add Format and Name Ad Unit. What kind of ads would you like inside of your application? I'm just going to work with banner ads in this situation because honestly I think they're the best type of ads. But either way, let's go ahead, continue. And you can just go over here to your ad unit name. I want this to appear on the bottom home screen, so I'm just going to say bottom home screen. Essentially, this is just a way for you to know which ad is which. It could really just be your bottom screen. This ad is going to appear everywhere inside of your application on the bottom of the screen. But either way, I'm just going to call this my bottom home screen. Now go ahead, hit save, and then you should get a green check mark. And then also you have your ad unit ID right here as well. Now with our setup Firebase Analytics, this is optional, but because I am showing you how to do this, let's go ahead, say link to Firebase. And inside of here, you can see that it's asking for your iOS bundle identifier. So let's go ahead, go back over here. We're going to go over to our Xcode project, say create new Xcode project. This will be a single view application. Go ahead, click next. And I just want to point out this works with all types of applications. So whether it be a game or a master detail application, it's going to work basically the same way throughout all of these different type of applications that you make. So let's go ahead, continue on and say single view application. For our product name, you want to keep this in mind because it is going to affect your bundle identifier right here. So I'm just going to call mine AdMob. And then let's go ahead, organization name is going to be Archetype, and also with your organization identifier, you want to make sure that it has com dot, and then it's either like Archetype or whatever your business or your personal name is. Language, Swift, devices, universal. Go ahead, click next, and create. So now I have that created on my desktop. Now, as you can see, this is my bundle identifier right here. So I'm just going to copy that and head over to AdMob again, paste that right in there and hit continue. And then with our select our project, we want to link this with a Firebase project that we just created. So in this case, we're going to say select a product, and mine is going to be AdMob, as you can see. Now let's go ahead, continue, and basically we're just linking our Firebase with AdMob, and this just makes analytics with Firebase a little bit easier. Now we can continue on and hit done. And then with our view setup instructions, you want to download the Google Mobile Ads SDK, so go ahead, hit download. And as you can see, it's going to take you right over to this page right here, and you can just say Google Mobile Ads SDK iOS.zip. Just go ahead, click on that, and it's going to download the SDK for your application. So now that that's over with, let's head back over to our AdMob and continue on with the rest of this. Now with this, it says follow the SDK integration guide. We'll just go ahead, skip that right now. And then we're going to say click here to download the config file. So go ahead, click that. And essentially it's going to take you over to this page right here in which you're going to download Google service-info.plist. And this is going to allow you to actually use the application with AdMob. So right here, it's going to say file download. For some reason, this didn't render properly on my screen, but go ahead and click that, and it's going to download the file right over here. So now I have Google Service Info-13.plist, and now I can start using that. So it downloads the latest Google Service-info.plist. Yours probably won't have the -13, but I have downloaded a lot of plists, so that's why that's there. And now, as you can see, we have the Google Mobile Ads SDK downloaded. So let's go ahead, open up this file, and then we're just going to take our framework right here, this Google Mobile Ads.framework. I'm just going to click and drag that right over to my project. And we're going to say copy items as needed because we want this one to stay with our project wherever our project goes. Otherwise, AdMob will not work. So go ahead, hit finish. And there you have it. Now we have the framework added down here and up here. And then now we also need to add that plist. So I'm going to go over here to my Google service-info-13.plist. I'm going to click and drag that right over to my project, put that right in there, and I'm going to say copy items if needed again, and say finish. Now, if yours does have a number after this, it's not going to work. So go ahead, click on that, and erase the number, and you're good to go. It has certain numbers for everything, so your bundle identifier is listed right here. So if you ever change your bundle identifier, you're actually going to have to go back into Firebase and pretty much create a whole new project because your bundle identifier is hooked up to AdMob. So just keep that in mind. Your bundle identifier is either there to stay or you need to restart. And as you can see, we also have our add unit ID for banner test. This is important. We'll need to keep in mind this for later on, but you also have your interstitial app test right there. Today we'll be working with just the banner test, but it's pretty much the same thing for working with interstitial and banner. You just need to resize things a little bit. So now let's go ahead, go back over to our project. We're going to head over to admob.com. And then we have all of this done. So now we can just go ahead and say create. And then we have finished all of these steps. With these other ones, you can follow the guides if you want and learn all you can, but I'm just going to take you through it, how to add an ad inside of your application right now. So let's go ahead and say done. And then as you can see inside of your AdMob account right here, you have this app, AdMob, and then you also have your ad right down here in which you can track all the things that are inside of this. So this can be what type of text ad style you want. You can customize it. You can do whatever you want. You can turn off whether you want it to be an image ad or a text ad. That can decrease your revenue, so be careful there. And then you can also say no refresh, or refresh rate is every 60 seconds. That means you have a new ad coming in every 60 seconds. You can change that accordingly as well. But either way, there you have it, and I'm just going to keep it this way. And also, we need to keep in mind this add unit ID. We'll use this in just a second, but let's go back over to our project. We're going to head over to our main.storyboard. And inside of here, I'm just going to go down here and click and drag a UI view onto our scene. So just click and drag this UI view right onto our scene, as you can see. And then now with this view, we can head over to our identity inspector. We're going to go over to our class, and we're going to say this is going to be a capital GAD banner view. It should automatically fill that in for you. This is essentially a Google ad banner view. It's what's going to be showing your ads. And then also with this ad right here, we want to specify the size. Now, the way we get the size properly done, we're going to head over here to my size inspector. I'm going to set the width equal to 320, and then our height is going to be equal to 50. So this is the standard size for what you can display with an ad. Now, this is, of course, one of the sizes. This is the size that we're going to be working with today. It's a 320 by 50 ad. It's the normal standard banner ad, but you can also change that accordingly, and they have different ads for everything that you do. But if you want to see the different sizes, you can head over to firebase.google.com. You're going to go over here to the docs, and then we're going to go to our Get Started guide. Head down here to our AdMob, click on that, and then we can just click on the banner ads right down here. And this is just going to show you that these are the different sizes that are offered with all of the banner ad types. So if you want to make this a 320 by 100, you can do so. Or if you want to make it 728 by 90, you can do so as well. It's just different for everything that you do. We're just going to be messing with the standard banner ad that we have right here. You can, of course, change this accordingly if you want, but let's head back over here. I'm going to click on this ad banner. I'm just going to make it move down here so that it locks into place right in the center at the bottom of the screen. And then now we also need to add some constraints so that it stays there. So in order for us to do this, I'm going to right click or control click and drag from our view over to our view. We're going to give it a width and also the height. So we want to make sure that we keep the width and height. That is very important. And then lastly, we're going to right click or control click and drag from this over to our view again. And we're going to make sure it's centered horizontally in the container, as well as we have vertical spacing to bottom layout guide. So these two right there. Then just go ahead, hit enter. And there you have it. Now we have all blue and we're good to go. So now we have this view all prepared for the banners to be coming in. Now, in order for us to do this, let's go ahead, go over to our identity inspector, and it should take you over to your viewcontroller.swift. If not, just go ahead and move over to that. And then inside of here, the next thing we need to do is just say import, and we're going to import our Google mobile ads. So this is the framework that we have right here. Everything that manages Google Ads is now going to be imported inside of our view controller. So now let's go ahead and apply this to that banner view. So the way we do this is we're going to right click or control click and drag from our banner view here over to the viewcontroller.swift, and we're going to insert a connection of outlet. In the name of this, I'm just going to call mine my banner view. You can of course change that to whatever you want, but go ahead and hit connect. And then also with this, one last thing I forgot to do with our class right here, we actually want to make sure that our view controller is the delegate for all banner views showing. So we're also going to just put right over here, we're going to say comma, and we're going to say capital GAD banner view delegate. So basically the view is now going to be the thing that controls all of the ads that are being shown. And then now we want to just request a banner view to be put inside of this banner view that we created. So we can go ahead and say let request equal, and we're going to set this equal to a capital GAD request. And there you have it, then open close parentheses like so. And then with this request, because we are using test devices at the moment, we need to say request.test devices will be equal to, and we're going to set this equal to open close bracket like so, and we're just going to put KGAD, and this will be simulator ID. So whether this be your phone that you're testing on or your computer, if you don't have this put in here, it's not going to work and your ad will not show. So you want to make sure that you have your test devices put on there at the moment. Once this is distributed, it's really not going to be able to use the test devices because it's not working with that anymore. But when you're testing it, you need it. So let's go ahead, continue on, and we're going to say banner view dot delegate. So this means we're taking that banner view that we created and we're making sure that the view is actually delegating all the actions that are going on with this banner view. So we can say banner view dot get delegate will be equal to self. And then as I said before, we have a unit ID that is specified for all of these ads that you're showing. So in order to actually apply our unit ID with that of our banner view, we could just go ahead and say banner view dot add unit ID, and we're going to set this equal to, and then we're going to head back over here to our AdMob account, and we want to go to our apps. So all apps, we're going to click on this AdMob, and then we have the bottom home screen ad that's going to be showing here. So we can go ahead, click on that, and as you can see, we have our add unit ID. So let's go ahead, take that add unit ID, I'm going to copy that, and then I'm going to head back over here, banner view.add unit ID, and we're going to say open close quotation mark like so, and just put that right in there. And then lastly, we're just going to say banner view.root view controller will be equal to self. This just again connects it with the view controller itself so that it works properly. And then lastly, we're just going to say banner view.load request, and we're going to request our ad. So now we can just go ahead and put in this request that we created earlier, and we should be good to go. So now let's go ahead, build and run this inside of our iPhone 6s Plus, and we should be good to go, and we should have our ad loading inside of our application. Let's see how this works. And there you have it. Now you can see that this is displaying a 320 by 50 test ad from AdMob. Now as soon as this is actually released to the public, you won't see this test ad, you'll actually get a real ad. So there you have it. That is how you add a banner view inside of your application using AdMob. Now I want to point out, if you try running this on your iOS simulator right now, it will not work, and that's because you don't have the right provisioning profiles in order for it to work. So in order to fix this, I'm not going to take you through it all right now, but I will explain. You need to head over to developer.apple.com, go over to the provisioning profiles. You go ahead and create a provisioning profile for your application that you're creating, download that, and then add that to your keychain access, and then you should be able to build and run it on your device, and the ad will show up. Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to hit that like button down below. If you have any more Firebase tutorial suggestions, be sure to leave that down in the comment section down below. I am working on a messaging application. I know a lot of you guys are wondering where that is. I'm working on it. It takes a lot of work to figure out something that's new and trying to get this all perfectly done. So I'm trying to get that out as fast as possible. Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.
Life.
So that's what they call a family. Mother, daughter, father, son. Going to see Newsies tomorrow, so excited for that. Okay, here we are.